in here. Ready.
All right.
You ready? Everybody good?
Yeah, we good. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to Country Cousins, the podcast, man. This is your favorite podcast. This is your boy, Emmett Pill.
And I am Jay the Connect.
I got my partner with me today.
Yes, sir.
Man, look. Introduce our guest, bro. Introduce our guest.
Hey, man. We got this amazing person with us. You know, she's been featured in Cosmopolitan magazine. Sex blogger, Miss Ashley Cobb. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm good, man. Can't complain.
Just got done working.
Fellow Viking. Can't forget that, man.
That's right. The illustrious Mississippi State University.
Uh-huh. Talk that.
So we're going to kick it right off. I'm going to kick it right off with a question. I ain't going to lie to you. How did you get into your you know what I'm saying, your profession?
He said,
hey, be careful going off this street now.
Hey, all right, we're gonna get back to it. What was you?
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So I have a degree in, while I lived in Liberty City, I went back to school to get a degree in public health. So originally I wanted to be a public health educator, the people who work at the health departments who passing out condoms and all the other jazz about health stuff. But when I got to college at that time, I couldn't find a job. So I kind of had to create my own thing because I like talking about sexual wellness. So I started out kind of like sex education. I would do YouTube videos. I had a blog at the time, and it was basically kind of like just sexual education. And then I kind of gradually, and this was in 2016. So I kind of gradually over the years kind of graduated to what I do now, which I write, bloggers write. So I write about sex. I write about sex in magazines and different publications. And then I have my own little kind of like entertainment sex blog. But yeah, so I talk about sex, I write about sex. And so that's kind of how I got there.
So I got a question. What is sexual wellness, man? Like what is?
Sexual wellness encompasses a lot of things. So like your physical health. So like make sure like talk about STDs and stuff like that. It also encompasses like pleasure, like are you enjoying sex? Your mental your mental well-being in regards to sex, like are you in the right mind frame? Are you doing it because you want to? Or are you doing it because you feel forced? So it talks about all of that. That's what sexual wellness is. And for women, it talks about like it's more like reproductive health as well too, like our menstruation and like our vaginas and all that stuff. So all that is in talks goes with sexual wellness.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. We off the script, so whatever you want to say, if you want to say coochie, pussy, whatever you want, man, say it, goddammit.
Okay, cool.
Like this ain't professional, man. You know, I mean, our podcast, you know what I'm saying, like Jay would tell you, you know, and many of our guests, it's unscripted. Whatever comes to our mind during the conversation, you know what I mean? This is just a conversation between us three that's gonna be seen by plenty of people, you know what I'm saying? So don't worry about that, man. Let your head out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
Yeah, I checked out a couple of your interviews you've had with a few people, and you I found it interesting. Like, there's different types of, I guess, orgasms or whatever, or what do you call it? The vulva something.
There's different there are 12 different types of orgasms that women can have. I mean, y'all typically have, you know, the one kind. So I talk about women because I'm a woman, and I feel as though Black women, particularly because I'm Black, like we need the most I guess help, because a lot of us are just having sex just cause. A lot of us are not taught about pleasure. A lot of us not taught about how stuff works, how to advocate for ourselves. So like I pretty much in my work, I help Black women to be able to advocate for themselves, be able to how to talk sex out loud, without feeling like all the shame and all this other stuff. Because typically y'all, men, when I say y'all, I mean men. Men are not going to keep having sex with somebody they don't enjoy. We do. We do. But y'all not. Y'all not gonna keep sleeping with somebody.
So that's how cats be getting food. That's how dogs be getting food. They be thinking like, yeah, I'm tearing this thing up, but she might actually just really like you, and you ain't doing shit for her.
Right. And we just like you, but like we are not, enjoying it. And then you hear, typically I've heard this in my own life, and other people say, men be like, well, she won't saying nothing. The last chick didn't have no problems, but you don't know that. Because I've been with people and I ain't said nothing either. But it's either because, one, I didn't like you like that, so it wasn't a thing like for me to tell because it wasn't gonna be a thing regularly, or I just didn't know how to say this don't work for me. I didn't know what I need you to do. So
is there a woman's equivalent of ED? Erectile dysfunction. Is there a woman's equivalent? Like, I mean,
that's a good question though.
Well, yeah, because like as you get older, your body changes, right? So with women, as we get older, you get like menopause and stuff like that, and then like our estrogen levels decrease, and our so our libido kind of lowers, and then we have vaginal dryness and all those things. With us, it's not that it stopped working because it's a hole, you can put anything in it anytime. It might just be like we don't be in the mood per se. Because with women, we have to be like turned on, like physically, mentally there, and then everything else kind of follows. So it might be a thing of we're not able to be turned on properly.
So would it be safe to state, because like you, along the lines of what Chris was talking about, what you're talking about as far as y'all have to be stimulated, and then you were telling about the 12 different orgasms. So is it safe to say that, like, I don't know, the coochie has its own personality, meaning because like, some guys may feel like, oh yeah, I'm God's greatest gift to women, and think that he can stimulate everyone, but don't even understand that every woman's stimulation process is different than every, you know what I'm saying? So you can't just do the same thing with one woman that you did with the last woman, right?
Facts. That's why communication is important. That's why being able to talk to the person you sleeping with, so y'all be like on one accord, being able to say, I tell people all the time, fuck before you catch feelings. That's my tagline. And I tell people that because for women, I tell women this, not y'all. I tell women that because typically after we catch feelings, we're blinded to everything else. So if you go ahead and have sex, not like you don't have to have sex the first day if that's not what you want to do, but like if you do it early, you're able to be like, all right, either I like this or I don't like this. Is it something that we can change, or is it something that's just not going to work at all? And then you can assess and determine whether you want to do whatever this is or not.
So, in my opinion, sex on the first date doesn't make you promiscuous or doesn't make you, a hoe, right? You just know what you want, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You see something and you want to know if it, you feel me? And like you just said, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of fun.
It's like going to Sam's, right? And you grab those samples before you buy that bag of chips. You know what I'm saying? You just want to taste the sample, make sure it's what you want before you actually buy into it.
Cause like, what is a hoe? Like I ask that question a lot. Like
a garden tool.
What is that? Like, I mean, and I can't be a hoe by myself. So if me having sex with you on the first night lowers my value, what does that say about you? Like,
you dropping some jewels today, brother. Oh Lord.
She's telling you it's another side to it.
As a married man, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what are some ways that you can kind of, you know, get your wife to, you know what I'm saying? Because when you get married, all that extra go out the window.
What you mean? What you mean? Okay, what you mean when you get married? All that extra. What is the extra you
get him? Get him. Go ahead. Yeah, we in here today.
You probably get. I'm trying to use a good choice of words here because I ain't trying to, you know.
Okay, let me help you out. Let me help you out because I have married friends that are dudes. So one of my friends particularly says this is he says all the time. He'll be like when he got married.
She across the street playing with them kids.
Go ahead. He don't need to hear this.
He will say that when he got married, the amount of sex that he was having decreased. So he was like, they were doing it before, and then
go ahead, bro.
And then once they look at the kids.
I'm sorry. Y'all go ahead.
No, you good.
Go ahead. I apologize.
We talking about with the kids there.
Go ahead.
So the amount of activity, you know, I can use code words. So the amount of activity decreased because they got married. So is that what you're talking about? Something like that, similar to that?
The activity and then that special activity. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? That special activity. The one that happens probably on your birthday.
Knowledge.
Oh.
The knowledge.
Yeah, the knowledge.
The knowledge.
Well, this is what I ask people. This is what I ask folk. I ask folk, was before you got married, was it where you wanted it to be beforehand? So
and I didn't. Okay, that's fine, baby. That's fine. Watch. Watch. You want to watch YouTube? Okay, all right. So sit over there and watch YouTube. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
I'm so sorry.
My screen went out.
I thought I was good. All right. We about to have a real conversation, so I need you to pay attention to YouTube. Y'all go ahead and talk, man. I'm so sorry.
All right, Mr. J, connect.
All right, my screen. I'm back. I'm back here now. What was you saying? I'm sorry.
No, I was saying that sometimes people when they get married, things you do diminish because you know now you're in the house with someone every day versus seeing them casually. And then you know, so that changes stuff too. I always ask people. Like the story I posted, the advice I posted today for dear Ashley was this woman who'd been married 8 years, dating, I don't know, 6 or something like that. Anyway, the question was, she has a higher sex drive than he does, and they don't have it often. Like they only had it once this year, and they.
Wait, hold on, pause. They only had the activity, the full activity once in a year.
Yeah, this year, yeah.
Okay.
So like, and she tries to do it like once a month. So this was a old email. So at that time, it's maybe like February, March. So the question was, she wanted to know what to do. Now she also said that prior to them getting married, he was never on her level at all. So I get those a lot. I hear people who get married for various reasons, but it was never compatible in that area ever. Like it was never what you wanted it to be. Either y'all didn't talk about it, you just thought it was gonna get better or whatever. So then you get married to somebody and then y'all monogamous and you married and it doesn't get no better because it's not like you didn't discuss it beforehand when you should have.
So like, is there any special phrases or words that you can use to make it kind of more appealing or appeasing? You know what I mean? Like, because y'all don't have a problem with telling us, hey, boom, put it out there. But if we say something like that, you know what I mean? Like it wouldn't sound, you know what I'm saying?
I'm a straight shooter. Like, I ain't, don't hurt my feelings, but like, tell me what you want. And then we can talk about it, have a conversation about it. Like, I would like for you to do more X, Y, Z. Like, I always tell people you lead with a compliment. So you don't just go out with the bad stuff. Don't just be like, it's trash. Don't do that first. Lead with a compliment. I like when you do blah, 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 blah. Right? However, I will like it if we could do more of X, Y, Z. Okay? Yeah. Like, lead there. Start with a compliment, then go for whatever you're gonna go for. So that way they'll know, okay, they do like something about this that we doing. Like, I like when you do this. I would like if you did it more often because it makes me feel whatever. Right. And then typically, she may do it. I think also too, like I'm not someone who likes to. I'm not like a long performer. Like I ain't trying to be doing nothing for like 20 minutes. I got time for that.
Right to the point.
However, like there's like different types of toys you can use, like different type of techniques and all this stuff that you can use to make the job a little easier. Because what y'all don't understand is that's a whole job and it's hard work. And it's a lot we have to juggle and be aware of. I don't think y'all know that.
I feel like I threw this podcast off because of the events that happened like 5 minutes ago, and I want to say from the bottom of my heart apologize.
You're good.
See,
ain't nobody worry about it.
See, women got these different you're goods, and that's one of them ones. That's one of them.
Listen.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm sorry. You know what? Scratch that. I didn't. Don't worry about it. Nothing.
Yeah, you are good. Like, listen, I'm a guest on y'all show. You are good.
But this don't usually happen. This don't usually happen. John, am I lying? Oh, he done. Am I lying? This don't usually happen, bro. I apologize. But we're gonna get back to it, man. What could you say to a man that wants a threesome, right? Say you're not into women, but the dude wants to bring another woman in. What would be a polite way of asking, saying, hey, you know what?
I never advise anybody to do a threesome that doesn't want to do a threesome. You have to, in order for it to work, one, the woman, the spouse, girlfriend, or whomever, one has to like or be bi-curious. If you don't like women, if you're not interested in a woman, it's not gonna work. If you don't want to do it, it's not gonna work. So men ask this question all the time, like, how can I get my woman to do that? If she don't want to do it, there is no way to do it. I never suggest that anybody does anything sexually that you don't want to do, because then it's gonna be a problem. So it has to be something that she at least is open to trying. Would be open to. If she's not open, no. And then she has to be, like I said, she has to be at least interested and being with other women. Cause that's the whole gist of it.
Gotcha. I got you.
Right. So, all right, I want to get back to you were talking about like people don't understand like it's a job, it's work. Um, and I don't know about all men. I can speak for a few that a lot of times it's like we don't experience helping use toys on our females because we feel like, well, she got me. What does she need a toy for? Like it's like almost like an ego trip. Like, dang, like I ain't good enough. She got to have a toy too to work with it. So, would you explain more of how is more of like a performance and playing type thing where it's more like that? Stop thinking about you. Like it's nothing against you, but it's just like trying to get the fulfillment of the fullest sensation for the female. You know what I'm saying? On that sense, so other than just let's get it and go. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you might want to, hey man, put this here and do what you do and see what it do for her. You know what I'm saying?
Black men, y'all kill me. I have this conversation a lot because some of y'all be like, I've had men in my life who be like, I don't do that. Cool beans. I ain't trying to convince you what you're not gonna do. You just won't be doing me regularly, but that's fine. Like it, yeah. I think part of it is, like you said, people feel like men, y'all feel like that the toy replaces the human, and it doesn't, because a toy cannot touch you and do. It cannot be a person. It's not a person. Like no matter how many toys I use, I like a person. You can't kiss a toy. Can't hug a toy, or can't cuddle with a toy, can't talk to a toy. Like you can't do none of that with a toy. Like it's not. Like the toy just adds to the experience. It doesn't take away from the experience. Now toys are made because they were made specifically to get you off. So they are going to do the job quicker than a human can. That's what they're designed to do. They're machines. Like, it's just what it is. But it's nothing wrong. You can use the toy in the beginning for foreplay and then do what you do after that.
Speaking of toys, plug your toys, man. Pun intended. Plug your toys.
I don't have any toys. I work for a company. I work for Love Honey. It's a toy company. I don't have any. I work for them. I'm their toy person. So I plug their toys.
Okay.
I don't have any toys.
Plug their toys. Pun intended.
So it's it's lovehoney.com. It's a toy company.
All right, boom. There we go. A question that we had from one of our homeboys. If a woman doesn't squirt, can you make her a squirter? Can you do it one time if she's never done it before? Is it possible?
So every natural born woman has the parts to squirt.
Okay.
Not every woman does, because there's a lot that goes into it. Sometimes it's a mental thing. Sometimes people have to be stimulated in the right way. So it's not a thing that, it doesn't make the sex any better if you squirt or don't squirt. It's just like an ego thing. Ooh, look at there. That's all it is. So yes, you can try to, because squirting typically comes from, it does come from G-spot stimulation. That's what it comes from. So you can stimulate the G-spot one or two ways. You can stimulate it with internally with your fingers, like the come hither thing. Feel for that little patty part on the upper roof of the vagina. Stimulate it when it's like puffy. That's how you know it's stimulated, and you know that part has to be like puffed out first. So she has to be like, aroused before you start digging up in there. So that's FYI. So you can do it that way. Also, you can do it from clitoral stimulation, because the clitoris and the G-spot are all connected internally. So if you stimulate the clitoris the right way, or a combo of the clitoris and the G spot, that could also do it too. But like I said, it's not the end all be all. I mean, is it
piss? Is it piss? Is squirt pee?
So squirt does come out of the urethra, but it is created in the skin gland, which is next to the bladder. So the fluid that comes out does contain a mix. It has like a low percentage of urine, but is it solely urine? No, it's not. But it's urine. If we they tested what it was, it does have urine in it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just had to ask because it's a common misconception in the male community. They were like, man, she squirted, man, it's pee. Like she pissed on. Like,
does it taste like pee? So that's why I would ask. I mean, does it taste like pee? It doesn't. I don't think it tastes like pee. I mean, I don't know what pee tastes like either. So there's that. But it doesn't smell like pee.
I got you. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get myself in trouble, but yeah.
So, what's your biggest advocate? Like, your advocate in this field is for like women openness. Like, could you like give us more insight on what you mean? Like, women being more open with their sexual pleasures and stuff like that.
My biggest like goal or focus is basically, for Black women to be able to explore their sexuality in whatever capacity that is, right? Okay. Like, everybody doesn't have to be as free, as open as me, and I'm not that free, but like, you don't have to do what I do. It's just, I want you to be able to do whatever it is you want to do without feeling shame while doing it. So whatever that is, like my goal is to help women to understand that we are sexual beings. It's okay to want to do things. It's okay to have desires or want to explore certain things. Nothing's wrong with that. And fuck these men, like, whatever. I mean, I don't live my life based on like, there's women who live their lives based on thinking what y'all think. I don't. Like, I don't care. When people are like, well, I want to do this, but no man's gonna want me, child. Screw these men, like,
turn and push.
So my whole thing is like, all right. So like, my whole thing is misconception as far as when we talk about sex and the industries and blogging and stuff like that. People think of, okay, porn wise, but what are the other business avenues that has not to do with like the physical act, but like you're doing blogging, it might be sales as far as not pimping, but products and everything. Like, how do you make money without having to think about the typical way to make money, either pimping or no?
How do I personally make money, or how people can make money?
No, just the industry itself. Like, the business side of it, other than the undercard business side, like, the legit way to make money with this besides like porn star or stuff like that.
So there's a plethora of things you can do in the sex field. There's people who are sex educators. So there are those people who go around, who work for organizations, colleges, school districts, counties, and who educate people on all things sexual health, like STDs, HIV, how to use a condom. They do talk with teenagers. So there's the whole education part of it. There's that. There are people who get money off podcasts, people who are create podcasts about sex, they get paid to do that. There's people who are phone sex. I know people who do that. There's people who are like doms. And so this one girl in particular, her name is Mistress Marley. So she's a financial dom. So what it is, most of her clients are white men, so they pay her to for her to give them orders, like tell them what to do. It's not sexual at all. It's just they like be bossed around by a Black woman. So she dressed up in whatever, sexy attire, and it's like usually on Zoom or it could be in person. And they do what she tells do, and she gets paid to do that. So there's a lot of things that people do. There's people who teach classes on things, and people who sell sex toys. So it's a plethora of things you can do. There's people like me who write about sex, that people pay me to talk to write about sex. So it's a plethora of things you can do in the sex world that does not involve you actually having sex.
Because my sister does like passion parties and stuff. I don't go to that jank, but some people might not know about the other side of, the sex industry, because mostly what you see on TV is what you basically get: porn stars and prostituting and stuff like that you see in movies and stuff. So I wanted you to shed light on the other ways that, you can monetize this industry.
And there's a show coming out on, I think June 5th, I think it is. It's in June. And it's on Fuse TV. It's called Sex Sales. It's featuring, I don't know if you guys heard about the guest, the podcast Horrible Decisions. Anyway, one of the co-hosts from that podcast, it's a really good podcast. Anyway, she's talking to, it's a show about things people do in the sex world to make money that does not require them to have sex. It'll be on Fuse in June. It'll be a really good show to people to watch and to learn about how people make money.
Oh. So my next question is like, I don't want to, but condom sex versus raw sex, right? I know the dangers and everything, of not wearing protection. But for a woman, a lot of the times y'all they got a freakier mind than us. You know what I mean? And sometimes when y'all want it, y'all just want it right then. Don't matter where you at, what up. But what's your standpoint on women, how they want it, when they want it, condom sex versus unprotected sex? Like what's your
So I'm a big condom advocate. I've personally been burnt more than once by not wearing condoms. So over the years, I'm like, I don't do this no more. So I personally wear condoms. I advocate other people to wear condoms because, one, you don't want to put your health at risk because behind some dude. Like, it's just not worth it. So I have condoms. Like, there's condoms in my house. There's condoms in my car. So I advocate for women to have condoms wherever they go. If you want to have sex with someone, particularly someone like, someone you're not in a monogamous relationship with, you need to be wearing condoms. And even sometimes with them, you can.
So the women condom, the female condom, right? I'm sorry, not the female. I apologize. Please don't cut my head off.
No.
So, but the woman, contraceptive. Are they healthy, unhealthy? You know what I'm saying? What's your standpoint on those?
I don't use female condoms. One, they're hard to get your hands on. They don't sell them over the counter. Last I heard, you have to go to a doctor to get them. So I just use regular condoms for penises.
Gotcha. I got you.
It is what it is. So, all right. I've heard, you hear different things, right? Like, is it just as much as we know it different in the field, right? Y'all know it different in the field. But sometimes you hear, oh, I didn't know he took the condom off. But then I'll hear, did you wear a condom? Or did you take it off? Because I feel like, and I'm like, I didn't. I took it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I took it off. Like, why? The fact that you got to ask me that. So, is it like, bring like, do y'all know or not? Because you get some people to say, oh, I didn't know he took it off. And then some will say, like, you took the condom off.
I don't think I can tell either way. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've had sex with or without condoms from same people. I mean, it basically all feel the same to me.
Okay. The guy is different. It's totally different. But I get it.
So like your, you know, I don't want you to speak on it, but well, you can speak on it if you want to. But in college, man, we had some times, you know, not me and you. I just want, you know, but you know, we had some wild times. Like, what are some of the moments that you can remember that kind of, you know, kind of pushed you towards this right here? Not more so, you know, who, when, what, or why, but just advocating for sexual health. You know what I mean?
Well, the funny part is, if people remember me from college, college Ashley and grown up Ashley are not the same person.
Okay.
So I have friends from college who like, I mean, I was having sex at Liz, but it wasn't like I wasn't doing this at Liz. So I was still very much trying to figure out who I was as a person, and you know, still does, you know, I was young doing stuff just cause. So like I have people who know me from, you know, Liz, and they be like, I never thought you'd be doing this. Like, me neither. So like, yeah. So if you remember me from Liz City, I was, you know, this not the person you probably remember. I won't doing none of this. I don't think it particularly was a thing from college per se, because college, I was pretty much just doing things that people do in college, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Party,
you know.
party.
You're learning. For me, like I was learning what sex was, like, you know, what it was, because you're grown for real. You know, you're not your mama house no more, so like, you know, you can like experience like sex as an quote unquote adult, what kind of like what that is with people. So I mean, other than that, it wasn't until, because I didn't start sex with Ashley until I think I was 30 actually.
Yeah.
I was how old am I now? I'm 36. I didn't start talking about it until probably like 2015. So however long that was. I mean, I don't know how many years that is. 6, 7.
You got to be about 6 because it's 21. So yeah, 6.
Yes, I was around 30 when I started doing sex with Ashley, because I realized that people didn't know stuff, and then I realized I want to talk about sex, and I want to, you know, explore what that looks like, because, you know, I was somebody who grew up in church. So I'm grew up in church, you know, I had that whole church background thing going on there. You know, there's some years in my life where I was like celibate, doing the whole church thing. So it's a whole journey to this.
Right.
So yeah, so I don't think it particularly was one particular moment at Living City that I was like, no what, I'm gonna talk about sex for a living. Nah.
So let me ask you this: with your blog, and you know what I'm saying, what you got going on, what was one of the craziest stories that you may have heard between a man and a woman? You don't gotta get on that.
Like,
but you know, just a situation you was like, what the fuck is going on here? God damn. Like one of those situations.
I think, because I get weekly stuff sent to me pretty regularly. I get some interesting stuff between my podcast, between the sex advice column. You know, nothing surprising me at this rate. The thing I will on the podcast, one from this week, this was probably something that surprised me, because it was this woman, she was talking about she was like an escort, and she was talking about how she had a client who was into munting, the kink munting. So what munting is, I know what munting was until she explained what it was. I was clueless. So what munting is people go to like morgue or whatever. Anyway, and they like, they lay on dead people. They lay on dead people. Let me read what it is. So munting is one person, you go down on a corpse. So they go down on a corpse while somebody
and that's legal?
I don't think it's legal. No.
That's legal?
I don't think it's legal, but people do it. I don't know how I don't know if these people work in a hospital or they work in a mortuary. I'm not sure where they work, but it's the whole thing. So he wanted her to play dead so he could fulfill his munting kink on her. And that was probably the most recent thing in like in a few years that like shocked me. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, so it's a whole thing in the sex world of different bizarre stuff. And yes, these were white people, in case y'all can't.
So the word kink, right? The word kink, is that like short for kinky, or like is it an acronym for something?
No, kink just means so it's like something people use to get off. So it's like a kink. Something yeah.
Okay, because I had seen it on your page a few times. I'm like, what's a kink? But I get you. So, I was looking. I think it was a story you had showed where there was this girl. Her friend had just been going through something with her boyfriend, and she ended up sleeping with her friend's boyfriend during their off time.
Mm-hmm.
And then she wants to know if she should tell her friend or not, because now they're back with the dude. I think it was something like that you had on there. And like, it's just like stories like that would be interesting to me. Like, I didn't get to finish like what you said about that one.
Well, the gist of what I said was she was trifling, and it wasn't really much you can do with that. Either you tell your friends and your friendship is ruined, or you don't tell, and then you just pray she never finds out. There's only two options with it. There is no third. That's it. But you trifling though. You forever trifling. So there's that.
Man. Damn.
So like,
go
ahead, Chris.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, because I wanted you to plug your podcast one, and so if you could plug your podcast and let people know exactly what your podcast is, because I definitely want to check it out.
So my podcast is called Ho and Tell. So what Ho and Tell is, it is features anonymous sex stories. So weekly people call in to tell about whatever sex rendezvous they want to tell. It's anonymous, so it's a total made up name. The voices are changed after in production, so no one knows it's you. You're calling, tell me whatever you want to tell me, how crazy it is, how whatever. And that's on that podcast is found everywhere podcasts are found, and that's Ho and Tell podcast.
Okay. Are you dropping? You dropping?
I was about to ask if you want the Ho and Tell. Like, you got any Ho and Tell stories, like either from your people or not? I mean, from people that called in, or a Ho and Tell story you got, or whatever. Just give people an example of what you do.
I don't have Ho and Tell stories because I'm pretty much an open book. If you want to know something, I tell you. I don't, whatever. Let's see. On the podcast, I've had a story of. It's some very interesting. We have some very good stories. I think it's a lot of BDSM stories on there. We have a lot of people who called in who tried BDSM. BDSM is like dominance, or like bonding or stuff like that, like paddles, stuff like that. We have a lot of stories about those. We have stories of
I
threesomes.
thought it was Black Sex Matters.
No. So we got threesome stories on there. We have people. I have this one story. I think was one of my favorites. This girl, she lost her virginity in the threesome. Like that was a really cool story.
She lost her. Well, hold on. She lost her virginity in the threesome.
And that was by choice.
Wow.
And it was really like, I'm like, okay, cool. This is cool. Like I you know, when I lost my virginity, I was 19, so I wasn't mature enough to do something like that. But she was older, so there's that. She was like 30, I think it was. So she was old enough and kind of knew what she wanted and to try. So yeah, it made for a good experience. It's like experience that she didn't regret. She had fun with it. So there's some interesting stories on there. So yeah.
Okay.
See, I would have thought you said like somebody gave somebody a dirty Sanchez or something. You know what I mean? A dirty Sanchez.
I don't know what that is. What is
that? That's when you never mind.
What is
nah, bro. You can't do that now. You brought it up.
Let me Google that. There was a story on there where this dude, he went to a Victoria's Secret model party in New York, and how the party was actually like this whole sex party, like with the models and stuff. So that one's very interesting too. Like they would do, it was like literally sex, drugs, and then anything you want to do at that party.
So a dirty Sanchez is when you put it in the girl, you know, out the tail, you put it in the tailpipe, and then you wipe it across a lip like a mustache. Dirty Sanchez.
Who y'all doing that? Who do that?
White folks.
On purpose?
Yeah, man. It's all kind of shit. You ain't never heard of some of this stuff?
Oh, that's nasty.
Tell her the other one, Chris. Tell her the other one so she can Google it.
It's Dirty Sanchez. It's what's the other Jones called? Like I got white homeboys. They tell me some shit like that.
There's a bunch of retarded stuff they be talking about.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's stuff that ain't even in the Kama Sutra. Now, I mean, speaking of Kama Sutra, do you have you read or studied up or anything? Because you know what I'm saying, I know they got like crazy different, you know what I mean, stuff up there.
I know what the Kama Sutra is. Have I tried to explore all those positions? I have not. Maybe one day. I ain't been that bored yet. Be like, no, let's try this. Maybe, you know, I think it's cool to do, like, you know, for people couples who are like married and like, you know, I ain't married, so couples who like, you know, been the game for forever and try to spice it. Let's do a different one every week. So that's something cute. But no, I haven't tried. I'm not flexible neither, so there's that.
Come on, man. You don't study up.
I am not flexible. I ain't trying to be flexible. I'm good with it.
You don't get down in that yoga and try to be limber, man?
Nope. I do not. I know my limitations. No, I'm good.
Come on, man. Don't put you in the hucklebuck, put your legs behind your ears and that. No, thank you.
I'm good on that. I am good on that.
So back to like the Cosmopolitan, like that's one of the biggest things I've seen. You probably know of any bigger magazines you put in part of, but how did you get to that?
So I have a PR person. With the company I work for, Love Honey. So basically, they're PR persons. So my job is to talk about their toys. That is all. That is right. I plug their toys in media. That's what I do.
Cool.
So,
The shameless plugs, ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's what they pay me to do. So their PR person sends me when magazines reach out to them, they give them my email, and so I talk to them about whatever they want talked about that pertains to the people I work for.
I want to be a men's toy plug. Bump it.
Hey man. Hey man.
Hey man, tell them to sponsor Country Cousins. I'm a men's toy plug, god dang it. We gonna have men y'all got passion parties. We gonna have
pocket pussy parties.
I actually have Love Honey. I have, I think, 2 or 3 male masturbators. They've been sitting here for like months. I can't use them. Y'all send me your address. I'll send them to you. They brand new.
Shit. Hey shit. Man.
Being out here on the truck, these lot listers ain't looking right. So yeah, send them to me.
Send me your address. I'll send each of you one. It's from Love Honey, and then tell me how you like it.
Okay.
Hey, look, man. Ain't nothing wrong with free product. I'm about to send it to you right now.
Okay, cool beans. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, and then one thing I really wanted to ask you, you know, especially have a woman's perspective. What are some of the misconceptions you think men have, and as a woman, when it pertains to sex, like, how do you feel like, I don't know, the better ways a man should come off, or what y'all as women think wish a man would come off? Because like, I experience, like, women think about sex just as much as men, but of course we get tagged with the label of being perverse and horny and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's the way we come off or what, because I mean, just like we like to see sundresses, y'all love them damn gray sweatpants. You know what I'm saying? So I guess some of the misconceptions that men have about it that you as women, like, I wish, for lack of better, I wish these niggas would understand type thing. Call it that segment. Give me I wish these niggas would understand segment right here. We just made it. I wish these niggas would understand.
I wish these niggas will understand that I think, well, foreplay is important, right? And not just foreplay long enough to get you hard. I think a lot of people do that. But foreplay for women, for a lot of women, is the sex, right? Because a lot of women don't orgasm from penetration. It's just how we're supposed to made. Nothing wrong. It's just how we're made. So the foreplay is the sex for us, right? So
I ain't never thought about it like that. Go ahead, keep going.
So
write it down, Chris. Write it down.
So making sure that and making sure that is a part of the sexual experience every time would help her to be better, to better enjoy the experience. I always tell people it takes women typically between 15 to 25 minutes, depending on what's happening, to orgasm. Somewhere in there, right? So I tell people to, like, men to do like the 20-20 rule. So the 20-20 rule is and this is just averages. You don't have to be like take time. You don't have to take time for 20 minutes. You can just, like, rough drop.
Yeah.
So 20 minutes above the waist. So whatever's above the waist, that's what you're focused on for like 15, 20 minutes or so, right? Then you do 20 minutes below the waist, right? So however that looks like, whatever that works. So in that time frame, she would already have had her fun time once or twice or so, and then that way she'll be ready for whatever you're gonna do next.
Yeah.
You know what, goddamn it? Hey, man.
So basically, more toes in the mouth and less strokes. I got you.
It's a whole experience with y'all. Y'all can think about it. Y'all turn on just by thoughts. Like, oh, sex, ooh, dick hard. That's kind of how it works, right? With us, even though we think about it, like, we have to be turned on before we like actually want to do it.
So you got to be serenaded. You know what I'm saying? Hey, dog, you might
and
need to grab.
All the time. And ultimately, it doesn't have to be like a physical thing. Like, if like people, like, foreplay can be mental too. Like, if you sending like text messages or sexting all throughout the day, or however you doing to turn whatever on, like, that'll work too. It doesn't always have to be, touching all that stuff. It could be like a mental stimulation.
Oh, okay. So, like, it could be just walking by, like, your person, your man, you know what I'm saying, or whoever you monogamous with or doing with her. See you in the growth station, grab your booty a little bit, rub on you, and walk away. Type, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it can be
So just playful shit throughout the day. Like you
yes.
might be cooking and come in and just kiss you on the neck and then walk and do it, act like he ain't trying to do it, but then he did it. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Just play
stuff
with you the
like
whole
that.
time.
Stuff like that helps to create the atmosphere for later on.
Okay, I got you. So, how important is it for women to satisfy the man in their life, right? Like to make sure that he's said, because we try our hardest to make sure y'all sexually satisfied, but how important is it for a woman to say, "Hey, you good? Did you get everything? You know what I mean? Like, how important is it?"
Well, satisfying your partner should be everybody's goal in it. Like, no one should be. It should be pleasure should not be one sided for men or women. It should be everybody's goal to make everybody, meet everybody's whatever mark. At least try to hit it. If you don't do it every time, most of the time, right? So, like, I think having like check-ins is also a good way to do that, where you talk about, how what the performance was, how'd you like, whatever, and they'll weigh in on what they like, and then vice versa. Talk about, ask them what can they do, what can you do better. Same thing with them, and then that way you have kind of a good assessment of what you need to work on, what they like, and do what they like. I'm not a mind reader. Tell me what you want me to do. I don't like trying to figure it out. I don't like trying to guess. Tell me, okay. I like you to nibble on my ear for 15 minutes. Bet. Every time I'm gonna nibble on your ear because I know it's what you like. I don't have time to try to figure this out. Like, just tell me what you want and I'll do that.
So like
progress report. That's what you need. Y'all need a weekly sexual progress, but at the end of the week, baby.
Or not even weekly.
3 times this week.
It could be monthly, it could be quarterly, but you gotta be checking in at some point.
We did it 3 times this week. What you didn't like, what you did like. I tried something new. Did you like that?
Right.
Good too. All right.
Does that include being real, or do you got to stroke an ego every now and then?
No, you need to be real. Anybody trying to stroke egos? We're trying to get to a solution. So we are being real. If you didn't like something, don't try to hurt people's feelings, but if you like something, like, you know what, I really didn't like this as much as I liked that. Stuff like that.
And I know she said she could only be an hour, and that's cool. I got 2 things that I really want to ask you, and because men have this problem, women have this. All right, so let's just go there. The size thing, right? So some dudes feel like, from listening to women that, oh, I got a big jump, I'm good at it. Some dudes, might feel some type of way, little pull away because he got a little jump. And is there, I don't know, the breakdown from a woman's side on that? Does that like really, because you said most women aren't stimulated through penetration, so like does it, like let's break that question, because that's one of the biggest questions, like, does size really matter type jump?
The size really matter in the grand scheme of things? No. And what I mean by that is it also depends on the woman too. So let me say that. Okay. So the part of the vagina that has the most nerve endings is where the G-spot is, and at the vagina opening. So that's only like 3 inches, maybe 4 inches of space. So if you like 3-4 inches, then you pretty much gonna hit everything that's in that area. So some women like the full feeling. So there's that, but do you need 10 inches to make it pleasurable? No. You need more than 2 inches, but you don't need 10. No. And the average length is 5 inches. The average length in America is 5 inches.
Damn. Because a lot of people, that's men get down because, oh shit, you ain't got the Mr. Marcus hanging out here. So you might feel like, man, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I personally don't like Mr. Marcus's. I don't need a.
I mean, I don't know either. I don't watch to see him, but
I don't
just,
need
like, for instance, a porno star. Period. Don't mean grab who you want. Got them Wesley Pipes. I don't know.
But like I said, but some women like 12 inches. Kudos to them, and everybody's different. I don't need all that. I don't. My cervix is not even that length, not even long enough. So it all can't go in me anyway. So we good.
See, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I do watch porno flicks, I watch girl on girl. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I don't want to see now, nigga. You know what I mean? But that's just me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's just,
hey, look, same here, but we know the names. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, we know the name, but I watch women.
Same here. I watch women on women, but still, like, hey, you know the names, so it's like.
Nah, man. I like that color orange you got back there. That's something similar to mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, look,
great minds think alike.
You feel me? Hey, man. Hey, we here. So what about like performance enhancers like Blue Chew or like the Rhino pill? The gas station dick pills. You know what I mean? Like,
I have no experience on those. I don't have penis. I don't know if they work or not.
You probably know if they work now. Like now you probably, if a dude slung you some dog water one day and then came right back with that hammer, he probably used it. I'm just saying.
I don't know anybody who used it, who let me know they used it. So I have no idea. I have no idea if it's a thing or not.
Oh my God.
So look,
like, Roman Swipes over there.
Yeah, man. So like, in my experience as a single man, right? Before, because me and my wife been dating for a long time. So let me just say this: statute of limitations is up to a certain point, but my experience as a single man, right? The last one before you say deuces to the girl, you just, you know what I mean, anything. You just go in there, do whatever. But the one, everything leading up to that, you putting that hammer down. That last one, you can be like, oh man, shoot, I ain't, whatever no more. I see myself out. But the last one, you just put a little dog water on. You know what I mean?
Dog water. That's hilarious.
Oh snap!
Hey, I'm just.
But yeah.
Just saying.
So any advice you want to give out there to women and men before, like, because I know, like I said, you said you can only do about an hour, so I ain't want to have you in here too long. Keep you away from all your other adventures.
No, I mean, the only thing I tell people, women particularly, is like, your pleasure matters. You need to be able to speak up and say what you want, and don't just take any old sex because that's what you're getting. Like, be able to say, I don't like this, or I wish that we would do X, Y, and Z, because you matter. It's just not about what y'all want. We matter.
Okay.
So,
okay.
As a man,
go ahead, Chris.
As a man, how often you got to lay the hammer down? Like in a woman's opinion, like, because what you want matters. So like, you know what I'm saying? How often should you go ahead and put the hammer down? Like, I ain't playing with your ass tonight now. So
shouldn't you want to do your best every time?
Yeah, every time. But it's that one that she want, that, you know what I'm saying? She want that guy. No.
If you always trying to shoot for a home run, you be fine. I know sometimes you won't make a home run every time, but if you swinging for a home run every time, you be good. You fine.
If you swing for the fences every time, sometimes you strike out.
That's true. That's true. Sometimes that's true. It happens to all of us. Sometimes this is not my bad. I'm like, no, what? I know this was trash. I know. Right. There's some people right now. You ask them, they're like, that was trash. I'm like, no, you actually correct. It was.
So, like, all right, for instance, and then I'm gonna do our favorite ending question, Chris. But my question is, all right, so like, a lot of times, like, as a man, when I'm giving the girl the la tête in French. You know what that means. Giving the girl a la tête in French. I do that for me. That's for me.
Yeah.
That's for me.
Yeah.
And a lot of women, no, like I make sure you get right, but I don't know. As a man, I like the control part of it. You know what I'm saying? She can't even do nothing. I would just pick with her today. Yup. Keep doing that right now.
Yup.
And then so like, do y'all conversely on the other side? Because women like control too. So do y'all do that for y'all, or is it just typically for the man? Or depends.
It depends. It depends.
Okay.
It depends. Sometimes I do it because I want to. Sometimes I do it because you like it. It just depends on the mood and where I'm at.
Gotcha.
Hell she done raised.
All right.
All this hell she done raised, right? All this hell she done raised.
But all right, so me and Chris, what we usually do with everybody, and this is just different to like the mood. You got a weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Similar to like Viking Fest or something. You seen the movie Hangover, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's 5 celebrities, famous people in what you do, artists, athletes, 5 people to have a hangover weekend with, where y'all basically like, hey, you might wake up with a tiger in your bed. You know what I'm saying? On some hangover movie type jump. You got a hangover weekend. So can you give me 5 people that you would take on a hangover weekend?
I would take Snoop. I think he'll be a good person to hang out with. Let's see, Snoop. Dang, Beyonce. I love Beyonce. Let's see, Plies. I think he'd be funny. Let's see.
She want that sweet pulse for Saturday. That's all it is.
Plies is hilarious to me. I watch him almost every day on Instagram. He gets us hilarious. Let's see, 2 more people. I'm trying to think. Women. Who else? I think who's a woman I would take. I think it would be like fun to hang out with in like Vegas. I'm trying to think. I'm drawing. I am drawing a blank. I already said Beyonce. Who's on y'all's list?
It could be Vegas.
Oh, Cardi. I would take Cardi B.
Cardi B, that's 4.
Cardi B.
And Megan always talking about her, you know what I mean? You wouldn't take Megan along with you.
Well, I feel like if I got Cardi, I don't really need Megan, because they kind of do the same thing.
True. Yeah, true.
You can take Tiffany retarded ass, Tiffany Haddish.
Oh, I don't like Tiffany Haddish.
You don't like her? Oh.
She gets on my nerves. So like she will be on my
what it is, Ashley ain't slick. She want to be the only Hershey bar on that trip. That's what it is. She ain't trying to take Megan along with her, because Megan, you know what I'm saying? She ain't good, man.
I'm trying to think. Let's see, one last person. Who would I take? I don't know. I'll probably take one of my friends, honestly, some regular person, so we can have a good mix of people.
Hey man, when you gonna let us come and hoe and tell, man? When you gonna let us come on the podcast and do our
what?
Whenever y'all want to, just let me know. Just disclaimer. Hoe and Tell, we talk about sex stories. So you can be anonymous. Most of the people on there are anonymous. I do have people who opt not to be anonymous, so that's totally fine. But just know that Hoe and Tell has a pretty good listenership. So whatever you say, about 40,000 people are gonna listen to what you say, and they don't know.
They'll bring us some more listeners over here, man. So
you take your Hoe and Tell ass on over there.
I am not responsible for any marital disputes or none of that. So make sure whatever you say, your significant other is aware of what you're saying.
Hey man, I was talking to John about this show today. I was like, "Boy, look, boy." I said, "Boy, look, boy." Hey, trying to control my boy. Hey, but nah, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go and say nothing crazy.
That's what it's about, though. That's what hotel. And there was another show you had. I think it was I seen it on your IG. Something about gags and gives and gags.
It's about gossiping gasms.
Yeah. What's that? Is that before we go?
I turned gossiping gasm into a blog. It's not a podcast anymore.
Okay.
But it's a blog. It's a blog about trending sex topics in the week. So everything that talks like everything that's happening in the week that relates to sex and like sex scandal, celebrity sex news. That's what I'm talking about.
So like, could I come on the show and just laugh or something and be like, "Hey man, country cousin, yeah, you know."
You got to you got to tell stories. Now you can be anonymous. Now it can be totally anonymous. I change your voice and your name, so one person know who you are is me. But if you're gonna be on it not anonymously, I need for you to make sure whatever you tell, your wife know what it is. I mean, I've had men come on there and talk about cheating on their spouse, but I mean, one person know that it's me because their voices are changed.
No, black men don't cheat.
Yeah, okay.
Shouts out to Carlos, man.
Okay.
Lil Duval, black men don't cheat.
Okay.
Hey, look, man. Ashley, could you plug yourself? Let people know where they can find you, where they know, what I'm saying, if you got any merch or anything, people can check in with you. Let the ladies know where they can go to ask you questions.
So
what do you say?
Toys. So
I said she got toys. She plugged.
So
I'm joking. I'm sorry.
I am on everything Sex with Ashley on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Clubhouse, TikTok. It's all the same. Oh. Website sexwithashley.com. And that's where you go to get in contact with me. You want to email me is ashley@sexwithashley.com. And so so everything's Sex with Ashley.
Okay. All right, bet. Shoot, man. We gonna set us up a time. We gonna come on the show. You know what I'm saying? Talk some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I can talk about some stuff. You know what I mean, from back in the day. Even though I didn't. I didn't lose my virginity till like my freshman year of college, around that. Senior high school, freshman year of college, around that time. Same. So we can talk about old stuff. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Warriors.
Okay, look, I'm just saying that's totally fine. I'm just saying disclaimer. Just whatever.
Yeah. And like I said, man, I appreciate you coming on and schooling us. I think people got some notes in the day. Guys got a little insight to the woman's perspective on the sexual things, and we should really have these comfortable conversations about sex because people get so uptight talking about sex and stuff like that. So, and it doesn't always have to be perverted, and I think we showed that today. So, like, I think it's good to have these conversations. It's healthy as grown-ups. So I appreciate what you do. I appreciate that you came on and showed us some love. And we would love to have you back because we might get some questions and some things people want to know about. So we would love to have you back and have another show. All right.
Send me your addresses. Don't forget that.
Oh, yeah.
I got you.
Okay.
And so, I mean, it's your boy Jay the Connect, your favorite cousins, country cousins. We sitting here with my boy
Emmett Pilf, man. I got my little girl with me. She knocked out now. And once again, y'all, I apologize about this. I'm on daddy duty. Apologize. You know what I mean? It don't happen.
Actually, I only asked one thing. Who you with? Who you in this podcast with today? You know what I'm saying? Who you here with? That's what I'm talking about.
I got one thing. I got one more thing to talk about. One more. Yeah, this ain't including, nothing. But what do you think about what's going on in Elizabeth City?
Heck yeah.
I haven't said anything about Elizabeth City publicly. I've been talking to the Liz folk, with Liz. Elizabeth City got a mess. I feel like they are trying to get their story straight because they know they don't fucked up. That's what I feel like. They don't fucked up. So I'll be interested to see how this plays out in like the next month or two. Because I don't think it's going away. Because the medical examiner yesterday said he was shot in the back of the head.
Yep.
Right.
And then when the car was parked on at the tree, they kept shooting. Like, why are you shooting? The car's not moving. Like, what are you doing?
And it's crazy. Like I told Jay, man, I was like, you know how many more car chases would have ended quicker if they could shoot into a moving vehicle? You know what I mean? A man had his hands at 10 and 2. They busting at him. He going the opposite way.
Direction.
You feel me? Like that's like, bro, that's common sense.
Yeah.
If they shoot from the right to the left, if they shooting in front, you go backwards. You know what I mean? Like,
and then another thing on my end, like, you know, it was some messed up thing when Elizabeth City Police came out and stated we had nothing to do with this. This was all served by Pasquotank sheriffs. Even though it was in the city limits of Elizabeth City, this was the sheriff's doing. So, like, this is sheriff's investigation. So, anytime one form of law enforcement tried to separate themselves from the total package of law enforcement in the area, some shit was going on.
Man,
they don't separate like that.
They rolled up like Boss Hog boys on the Dukes of Hazzard, man. You know how Boss Hog like for real, like, I ain't trying to make a joke about it, man, but like real talk, like they had dudes on the back of the truck, busy street, right down the street from the elementary school, shooting through folks' houses, busting on a busy street with people trying to go to work. You know what I mean? It's people that damn near crashed their car trying to get out of the way. And I'm like, bro, y'all didn't even block the road off?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Come on, man.
I hope that at the end of this, you know, like the George Floyd thing, somebody is held accountable and whatever that looks like, not just to be fired, but held accountable.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, got to, man. Like I just wanted to, you know, talk about that. We got to use our platform to talk about, you know what I mean, important things in our community, you know, because this is important. What you're doing is important, and what's going on is important. So I just want to get that out there, you know what I mean? So I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you already get with us when you trying to collab, man. You know what I'm saying? Have us on. I'm gonna ask a few of the homies if they want to come on, whatever. You know. So.
Yeah. All right. Take it easy. Nice talking to you today.
All right.